What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. After Sound here with the one and only Azircon. Azircon, it has been a little bit since you and I have connected, but I am glad that we are getting a chance to connect because there's so much fun stuff happening with land. But first of all, my friend, how are you doing? How have you been? And how are things on your end?
I'm doing good, and thanks for inviting me. And I reached out to you also because I saw a couple of your videos online, and I thought, maybe I can talk about it and clear a few things up.
Yeah, for sure. Well, first of all, I want to say, I mean, that what you're sharing here, the work that you've done with Beaker on this website, it's now become my favorite website to use for Splinterlands. I go in there and I check things every day. Unfortunately, there's no more Splinter cards, which I used to check every day before. But now, as you've probably seen with my content, I've pivoted a lot into focusing on land just because I find the developments there exciting. I find the internal land economy very exciting. And obviously, there's a lot more on the way. But what are like you're the one that had reached out to me, and I apologize. I know it's taken us a little bit of time to connect with just the holidays and all, but I'm glad we can chat. Where is the area that you want to start with first? Like, I don't know if you want to just give an overview of how you're feeling about land, or are there specific things you want to address right away?
Let's start reverse, and we will get to the feeling, anytime. So you can
Okay.
ask me any questions. Ask me tough questions. Tough questions are always welcome.
Okay.
Controversial questions are welcome. But let's start from what we just went through, the 4 cards, the land card sale, and it is just finished, just completed. So it's hot off the press,
Yes.
and we are seeing the impact right now. So let's just start from there. How's that?
Sounds great. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so as you know, the all 4 cards are now completely sold as of I think, was it yesterday or day
It was
before
yesterday,
yesterday? It
yeah.
was
So about
yesterday.
9 days after the allocation period ended.
Yeah. So, and I will go straight to this, my favorite plot on this website. By the way, this website, you can link it in the post. And,
I will.
everybody knows this website by now. It is the landSPLstats.com website. It is Beaker's website. Lot of the plots over time, I created the concepts of the plot, but I want to be very clear on this. This is Beaker's website. So he's the person who maintains it, pays for it, does everything.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
we are forever thankful and indebted to Beaker. Okay. So I think we all have used this site quite a bit lately. And there are some functionalities, there are simple things that I can talk about, and I can talk about, how to actually operate the site and why this is important, why this particular site is important. So you are familiar with the grain factor plot, I believe, right? You have used it multiple times.
Yeah, and I think in the last conversation we had, you went into depth on this. It helped me understand the grain factor a lot more.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think last we talked about this plot and how the display works has improved also. So, in any of these individual plots, I'm not going through grain factor again because I think people know about grain factor by
Sure.
now. It is essentially the 4 other resources with respect to grain.
To grain, yeah.
Like, so the price of those resources expressed as a factor of their production difficulty. So wood has a production difficulty of 4 times of a grain. Iron is right over here. So stone is 10 times
10 to
production
1.
difficulty,
Yeah.
and iron is the 40 times production difficulty. So if we are looking at the raw prices, wood price should be exactly 4 times the price of grain if all else is equal and the market is at equilibrium.
Yeah.
So these are the 2 assumptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But market is never at equilibrium. That's why it is the market.
Yes.
And that's why we compare with this particular benchmark. But I also want to show you, if you hover your mouse over here and click on this, it basically becomes full screen.
Okay.
A lot of the time people don't use it this way, and which I think is rather sad. So then you can actually manipulate it much better.
Much better. Okay.
So right now we can see all the 4 elements, and also in dash it is the DEC. So it's also the DEC price plotted here. This is new addition. It was not there before. Also, in any of this plot, if you just double click on any of the resources, all these resources, they are actually not just a label, but they're also buttons. So if you double click on it, right? So you can see it is kind of highlights, right? And then you can turn it on. So now you have only the wood displayed.
Got it.
I can turn on another one. So now is the wood and stone displayed. Okay. Now I can turn the iron, and the iron is displayed, and the DC, and back at the 1.0, the factor. So anytime you see these labels, they are buttons also.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one simple, functionality feature. So let's just close. And if you click on that button, it goes out from the full screen to this. And below that is this resource per 1000 DEC. Like if we are looking at raw prices, I typically use the one to the right.
Yeah,
So
I like this one a lot too.
Right, 100, right? So is essentially, since the price of all of this is pretty cheap with respect to DEC, cheap meaning by numbers, right? That's all I mean by cheap. And so if we look at this is essentially price of 1000 grain in DEC. So I have just turned on just the grain so that the screen is not cluttered, and we see the grain rallied from July all the way till this is the day when the water common land card sold out.
Sold out, yeah.
Common land card.
It was the first one.
Right, first one, and has only the grain requirement, right? So people were buying grain from the market, and using that they can buy this card, provided they have cinder. And since then, the grain has sold off a little bit, right? By the way, you can also zoom into it. You can click on this button and zoom in like this, like a typical box zoom. So you can actually see what the prices are on which date. By the way, this only updates once a day, near midnight UTC.
Okay, got it.
So each point is 1 day.
Gotcha.
Okay? And then again, if you just do auto scale, it goes back to this. So it's very easy to manipulate, very easy to see, and we can turn on wood and turn off grain. Click on it. Yeah. And so this is when the wood card was sold out on December 10th.
Yep.
And then since then, wood has been sold off.
Sold off, yeah. All the extra.
As expected. So that's in a nutshell what is happening to the price. Just the price action with the card. You can also look at the stone, for example. By the way, people have noticed this, but I still need to mention it. See, even now, even after the the sell-off, the raw wood prices are actually higher than
stone
prices.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's actually quite significant. And I will tell you one thing today that you may or may not know. Because of this, there is a very interesting thing that is happening. There is also a new tool in this website. I don't think you have used it, because we have put this tool on like literally 2 days ago.
All right, let's see it.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to jump around these different
That's fine.
icons on this website. So, not doing it in any kind of organized fashion. So, for example, after sound, do you have land in the name after sound?
Yes, I do. All of my land is under after sound. So
Okay, AFTERSOUND. Let's
Mhm.
take a look at yours. Have you used this part of the website?
I have not yet actually. So this will be. And you said this is brand new.
No, this has
Oh,
been
this part. Okay.
around for a while.
Okay. No,
But there are
I know that.
parts of it that is new.
No, I know that there's so much more to this website. The only things that I've really used are the resources to see the conversion and the supply, and then I use a lot of the land tool, the last one on the bottom there, when I'm
Mhm.
going through and trying to figure out,
This one.
what like the net DEC is to earn if I were to use gold foil legendaries versus gold foil whatever.
Right,
Just
right.
because I'm still in card accumulation and trying to build up my land.
Yeah. So I highly recommend you use this part. So this is that two little
Mhm.
people here, like the meeting sign or whatever you want to call it. And I typed in your name.
Mhm.
This is your account. This actually tells you what you have and how you have it. And I will
Mm.
be able to comment how your land is managed, and you will be able to understand how it is managed, and is it good, bad, ugly, whatever it is. And again, by the way, this is not meant to be any kind of judgment, right? Because my land is probably the most disorganized that is out there,
I mean,
right?
I'll
So
be the first to admit that I'm still working through it, figuring it out. So any insight that
yeah,
you can give me with this tool, I think would be helpful for me and for anybody else watching on how to manage their land.
absolutely, absolutely. So immediately notice, see, I'm zooming in. There are certain alerts. Once you load it, there are certain
Mhm.
alerts. So you have one plot with missing workers. You have
Okay.
no workers. So missing workers meaning missing card, a card that you could have put in
Put it in there. Yeah.
and not there. No workers just means empty plots that has no workers in.
Really?
Zero
4.
boost,
Okay.
yeah, 4. So we'll see which 4 in a second.
Huh.
These are all buttons, by the way.
Oh,
I'm
actually, that
going to
makes
click
sense.
on it. These are all buttons, and it'll show up. It's really cool. You have 5 plots with 0 boost. You have 1 plot with no power, so you do not have a power core or a
Mhm.
uni, right?
Mhm.
And you have neutral cards in 3 of the plots, and you
Yep.
have 1 plot with negative earning. So I am going to make a wild guess here. This negative earning plot of yours is either one of the two things. Either it can be a aura plot. Do you produce aura?
I do not
You
know.
do not. So if you do not produce aura, so aura plots can get negative very easily.
Yeah.
That is one simple thing, and people have known this. My other guess is I do not know your land plots, but I'm just making my
Mhm.
guesses, and I will see
Sure.
if I'm right or not. My
Okay.
second guess is this is a stone plot.
I had a feeling you were going to say that. It's not that it's a stone plot. I think it's an iron plot first of all, but the reason I think it's showing up here is because the work site is not created yet. So
Okay.
I put a bunch of like low level cards. It's going to take like 60 something days. And so it's just slowly working through. I haven't optimized this one yet.
Okay. So clearly, and that's as soon as I clicked it, that's exactly it. What it shows is
Mhm.
showing it's a work site, so it is
Work
not
site.
created yet.
Yep.
So that's the
No,
third thing. I should have thought about it, but I didn't.
Stone was a good guess. Although I mean, not to cut in here, but I'm having the same issue with iron. One of the things that I was going to bring up is you see the 4 plots in the other alert that are don't have any workers. I had been renting workers to work these plots and get a
Mhm,
high production out of them. But
mhm.
after the season ended, I let the rentals expire because I realized the grain required to produce the iron was more than I could sell that iron for in terms of the grain, the
That is
iron's value.
exactly right. So I think what I'm going to do, since you know, uh, in your case, the site is working, I'll show you mine, and you'll see how much of a disaster mine is. So in a full disclosure, right?
So you have
My
a
name is
one region or more than one region?
I have one full region, and then I have a tract, and I have some loose plots.
Some loose
I'll
plots.
show
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I'll show you in a second. So, but let's just go to the same thing that I'm talking about. See, I have negative DEC right here, right? I have 23 plots with negative DEC. So I am essentially losing money, but I am more or less
Wow.
self-sufficient.
Okay. And
So
I'm assuming
losing
this
money
is
doesn't really
Aura
matter.
then?
No, we'll see in a second. So I clicked on it.
Oh,
Look
work
at that.
sites. Okay. Yeah. Same thing.
No. Worksite in your case was worksite with a working thing symbol. In my case, this says quarry.
Oh, so this is all
These
stone.
are all
These are the stone plots for you.
stone plots.
Huh.
They're all stone plots. So now I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like. So if I click on deed, it is now loading all my plots. It loads 200, first 200s by default.
Mm-hmm.
But this filter button here, you can click on the filter button. And I do not have too many stone plots, so I'm just going to click on stone. I click twice. I don't have my mouse on, so that's why I'm clicking twice sometimes. So there you have it. I have, no, again, still 200. I need to click on stone plot just once. And wait, it should be 30, yes.
There it is, yeah.
Okay, so these are my stone plots, and see, it shows negative DEC. Right? Negative DEC meaning this plot produces 54.5 stone per hour. But the amount of grain it consumes, since the grain prices rallied a lot, the price of the grain for that, if I were to buy grain from the market, that grain, price of that grain to feed these workers would be more than the price of the stone that it generates.
So I have a question for you then, and I might already know the answer, so I'll try to speculate on that too. But the question is, why would you have these plots active in the first place if they're generating a negative result? Now,
Yeah.
I know from our previous conversations that you own a lot of grain that you probably bought for much cheaper than it is today. So for you, this snapshot is inaccurate because your cost basis for your grain is significantly less. But wouldn't it still be better to then sell the grain that you have right now to buy the stone that you need?
Right. So again, since I have a whole region, and I have a lot of resource to manage, and I have a lot of resource to create, I cannot buy sell every day. Right? I cannot. Then I'm just going to do a lot of trades, and if for nothing else, I just do not have that much time.
Sure. Yeah.
To do that, right? So I actually have to, in order for me to see, we have that button that calls claim all, right? I use that button, right? The button I'm talking about in a region.
Yeah. No, I've used it before. Or harvest
Right.
all. Yeah.
So the claim all button, what that does, it essentially harvests the entire region with one click, provided I have all the resources available in that region, right? So I have 7 aura plots, and for aura plots, it is most important because the aura plot takes all the resources, right?
Yeah.
That is the only thing. Well, other than SPS, I do not have any SPS going on. Other than SPS, the aura plot takes all the resources. So I need to have all the resources available within that region at a minimum to harvest the aura plot, so that I can use harvest all button. Otherwise, what it is going to do, it is going to go to the market and buy whatever resources that it doesn't have enough, right? And that is not ideal depending on when it does it. So one of the things I have to do, I have to stockpile resources. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to ask, do you have any research going on?
I do
Or
not
is
have
it
any research going on.
so? It's just Aura, no SPS, no research, and all the resources. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And the reason I do not have research going on, because I have accumulated some research. I
Mm-hmm.
have, 2.5 million or something research that I have accumulated. And right now there is no real use for research. So I do not have any research going.
You shifted. Well, Aura is like the extension of research. Research. So
Aura
you're
is the
doing
extension of research, right? So
Yeah.
because you need those tickets, and you use research point to create those tickets that
Mhm.
allows you to create the aura plot, right? So for example, notice the important thing about this is, and that this is what I wanted to say on the very first point, because the stone prices have dropped so much and grain prices have rallied, right? So it's a
Mhm.
double whammy. What you are producing is cheaper, and what we need to produce that resource is more expensive. So it's a double whammy on that particular resources.
Yeah.
That's why your net is negative. And notice, this is not just reward cards. It's like I have many plots where I just put 1000 pp cards. So
Yeah.
1000 pp card. So 1000 times 5 would be 5000 pp, right?
Hmm.
There is no boost, nothing. It's just 5000 pp. Look at this particular plot. This has 30,000 pp. These are all 6000 pp cards.
Hmm.
These are all beta cards. These are all beta common with a regional boost. Like this is essentially, they are all fire cards, and
Yeah.
fire gets a 10% boost. Plus, I have a common totem that gets another 10% boost. Even with that, so it's not too much of a baby plot, right? I mean, it is nothing like 5 gold friend legendary with a Rooney, but still is a substantially good plot in terms of card,
Yeah.
but it still has a uh, negative ROI right now.
Yeah. Even with all the boost, it's gonna cost that much grain.
Yes.
So what? Just taking a step back, what is the reason for that? Why is stone so under? I shouldn't say undervalued, but like why is it
It is
struggling
undervalued.
compared?
It is undervalued. I
Oh,
mean, that
okay.
is the
So
right
why?
word I'm going to
So,
use.
okay. So then why is it undervalued?
Yeah, right. So, and I have an explanation for that. So for that, I'm going to again use this tool. So I'm going to go
Hmm.
back to the first page, just because this is
Yeah.
where we typically start, right? That's the first page. But instead of the home button, I am going to do the second one.
Oh, the
Okay.
resource. Yeah.
Actually, I can go from the
You can
resource
click there.
also.
Yeah.
But if I click on the resource button, but at the top, I'm going to click on supply.
Hmm.
Have you used that one before?
Oh
Like
yeah.
this
This.
button before?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite tabs to come on here. I was
Okay.
trying to do, but if you remember, I made a video to take a snapshot of this, and then
Mhm.
you messaged me and you're like, just scroll down and you can see the snapshots are already there. So
Yeah, yeah. You don't
I
you,
know
you don't need snapshot. You don't need snapshot
I didn't
button.
even look far enough because I couldn't make it past this.
Yeah.
I was spending so much time here.
So this is the supply plot. So again, I'm going to maximize this, and I'm going to just look at stone.
Hmm.
Um, mm, Actually, I am on my I don't have a mouse here because I'm using that port for something else, but
It's
I'm going
okay.
to just do the stone. So this is the stone supply. Okay. So
Hmm.
it's a very simple plot, right? And these breaks on this beautiful trend, you can understand what these breaks are, right? Take a
Uh,
guess. What are these breaks?
those like mage wagons or
Yeah, these are the conflicts.
conflicts. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so when
These
people
are
need
the
to make
conflicts.
wage
These
wagons.
are the wagons, right?
Yeah.
So you will see there are exactly 4 of them. Like before this is the land card. So the
Hmm.
last bit of complication is the land cards.
Sure.
But before that, there should be 4 breaks in there,
Okay, I can see that.
right? And even before that, this is where we first created the aura, right? We
Hmm.
first created, sorry, the midnight portion essentially. the first creation of Midnight Potion. So those are the breaks. So the point of this is, remember, the supply is increasing. Okay, supply is increasing, just like everything else. All the
Yeah.
resources we just produce. This is what we have been saying. We need demand. We are creating a lot of supply without
We need
demand.
something. Yeah.
And the demands are like really tiny. You can see the demand, right?
Mm-hmm.
In this same curve. The opposite breaks of this are the demand. This is the first time we created some mega demand and we broke this trend line.
Mm.
And the stone has actually much less compared to wood, because wood has one card that you can manufacture just with wood and you don't need aura. Like
Yeah.
Epic requires aura and Epic requires stone.
And grain.
The legendary required all of them and aura, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, iron and aura. Sorry.
I think it's iron and aura.
Created
Yeah.
all of them. Iron and aura, and everything requires cinder. So I'm not mentioning cinder for now, for this particular discussion, right?
Mm-hmm.
So aura is something that is soul bound. People cannot buy aura. Correct? So if people cannot buy aura, I cannot go to the market. I say, oh no, I want a few more of the epic card, or I want a few more of the legendary card, and I'll just go buy some aura and make the card.
You have to produce it.
And then I can resell or do whatever. Like I can use it, resell, whatever. I cannot do that because aura is soulbound. But for everything else, like for example, the grain card or the wood card, you could go and buy wood. So that's why look at the wood plot in relation to that.
Oh, okay. So are you saying that people just went out there and bought the wood off the marketplace to get these cards?
Exactly. So that's why this is a much bigger drop. Actually, the requirement was also a lot more, right?
Yeah, I was going to say, when we were looking at the initial numbers, the current supply versus how much a sold out would be, grain and wood were the big ones. Stone and iron weren't. And, some of the speculation was maybe stone and iron, they're saving that for buildings, so they don't want to burn through the supply now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. What did you think about that when the numbers first came out?
Whatever it is, I do not know. But the point is, whatever the numbers reflected, the number requirement to forge those cards reflected the demand, right? It was set by the team. So, and the price and the demand and the supply is just reacting to that. The reason it could be speculation, and I don't like to speculate too much. I mean, I'm a numbers guy. I just
deal with the numbers,
comment on things what I see, which keeps it factual. But your question was about the stone. So this is the supply side. We got to look at the demand side also. So which is this guy. So that is the total. This is the production and this is the consumption. So let's look at the production separately, and we're going to look at the consumption separately. So, and I think here you are going to see, what I'm talking about. So remember, early on, stone was expensive. I'm sure you remember that, right?
Yeah.
For a long time, stone was expensive during this time. May, June,
I had forgotten about that. So is it that the other resources have now caught up with stone?
Yes, and a little bit more. There is a little bit more.
Okay.
So since the price of something, okay, let's flash the price real quick. So have that, but let's flash the price of stone real quick, and the factor plot will do it very easily. Because factor plot is also the price, right? It is a normalized price.
Yeah.
That is the expensive stone time, right?
Yep. It was well above the grain. Or
yes,
well above the one.
Well above one. It went all the way to the two grain factor. And I'm going to say this factor of 2 is kind of a psychological barrier. So once it gets to 2 times more expensive as it should be, it becomes so expensive that people do not want to buy it anymore from the market. And so just hold that thought. But
Yeah.
during May, the price was very high for stone, right? Price
Hmm.
went all the way up to the 2 grain factor. And what people did, people started to produce a lot of stone because they're getting paid for it, right?
Yeah.
They're getting paid for it. If you are getting paid for resources, I have said on multiple stream that, okay, if you want to buy a land plot, buy a stone plot, right? If you want to own, small number of plots, buy a stone plot, produce stone, because stone is expensive.
Hmm.
So that's what people did. People produced a lot of stone. So remember, we only have 31% to 32% of the Pretoria active,
Yeah.
right? So earlier, lot of the stone plots that are open in the 31%, lot of people did not put them online. But as the price rally, people put every possible stone plot online, to get the price, get the benefit of the price.
Yeah.
But there is a cap to it. Since only 31% of the Pretoria is open, there is a fixed number of stone plot there. And we know there is an upper limit of the card. All
Yeah.
the old cards are already out there, and all the new cards are only just the reward cards or less, right?
Yeah. Or
So
lower
we have
foil.
a upper limit of the card. So that is that. Approximately 8 million daily production of stone is the current production cap for stone. It
Hmm.
cannot go higher than that. With all the boosts that were available at that time, now it can go, I think, slightly higher because we have the epic cards that will give some additional boost, but it is very tiny. I don't
Yeah.
think we are going to go much higher than 8 million. So this is the production cap. Once you get to the production cap, you cannot produce any higher than that. So for
Mm.
stone, we have already achieved the production cap at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you keep on producing and then there is no use. So what will happen? The price is started to fall, right?
Hmm.
Because you have produced as much as you can and nobody is buying, you only are selling. If there is only seller and there is no buying pressure, the prices goes down. And that's exactly what happened. So prices kept on going down from that factor of 2. The factor of 2 reached one day in May 10th.
Mm.
And since then, we
It's been.
collapsed. Yeah.
It's
So you
interesting that.
see,
Yeah.
yes, of
It
course,
would,
of
right?
course.
Wood has the same
Yeah,
psychological barrier.
exactly.
Yeah.
2.01.
Interesting.
It had more help, right? It has an event backing it, right?
Yeah.
This was organic. This is like a major spike. It has an event backing it. It has
Hmm.
artificial demand created, but it could not go above factor 2.
Mm.
And that was the psychological barrier. And
And
then,
now,
it collapsed.
now we've seen wood. We've seen the wood production increase as well now too.
Yes, wood production is going through the roof for a long time, right?
Yeah.
So, again, let's look at the production plot. Daily production. And in theory, if I double click, it should work the first time. No? See, if I double click,
Oh,
I'm not being able to.
to get
Yeah,
just
it's
that one.
highlighting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's with a mouse I can do a better job. You can give it a try with a mouse.
Sure.
Uh, but I'm just using my touchpad. Look at the
Wow.
production of wood, right?
Yep.
So remember, wood started rallying because post announcement, and even before that, because wood was cheaper, right?
Hmm.
But every single day we are producing more and more wood, and we have sold every single rare card, and all of that is going to go in, and wood production will continue to rise. I actually brought more wood plots online So remember, I have about 500 plots still remaining, and a lot of them are forest and jungle plots. And I can bring those plots online anytime I want. Well, not anytime, however long it takes to bring the plot online.
Yeah. Well,
So
isn't it going to take? I mean, isn't this going to start heading downwards now, though? I mean, we're already starting to see that until the next
yeah,
catalyst.
maybe you won't see the production going down until you get to like one factor of
Okay.
one.
People will take advantage of it now.
Right. So it is still expensive.
Yeah,
It is still
that's
very
true.
expensive, right? So, if you look at the price of wood, the raw price of wood, again, go back to the price plot. Um, it's compared to just even a few months ago. So July, it was 23. September, 25. Currently, 120.
Wow.
25 to 120
It's a
literally is
5x.
like yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah, yeah.
So it's okay. So now let's take it back because I was hesitant to use the word undervalued, but now I understand, especially with the way that you explained the grain factor. Both going back to the grain factor chart, both stone and iron then are currently what we say is undervalued, right? At
Yes,
these levels.
anytime it is a resource is below the dashed line, it is fundamentally undervalued. So right now, stone is at 0.41. So stone is actually selling 40 cents to the dollar. Iron is at 0.55. Iron is at 55 cents to the dollar. So it's about half the price it should be. Stone is 40%, 60% the price it should be.
Of the price should be.
It should be. So it's heavily undervalued.
So, again, this is none of this financial advice, but I'm just curious. You loaded up on grain a while back. I know that was because you obviously have a lot of plots. Like, would you look at this and say it's time for me to load up on stone?
I am buying stone every day from yesterday.
Really? Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So,
yeah, because
interesting.
you just saw I own an entire region number 10, and region number 10, the total number of stone plot is 9. I also have some stone plots in region number 9, but that, I do produce stone there, but doesn't really help because I have to transfer between the region and it cost me more. If I transfer, might as well just spend the DC and just buy it from the market.
Gotcha.
I don't produce enough stone. So this whole thing, this whole setup of prices has been a great boon for me because my biggest production, I am one of the largest wood producer of Pretoria.
Okay. So you benefited from the rise.
Right. I have benefited a lot from the rise of wood. So as wood prices rallied, my account inflated, right? I have been able to craft. I have crafted 10 plus rare card, 10 plus level 6,
Oh,
level
okay.
5 rare cards.
I mean, that's a lot of
So
BCX.
altogether, if I go to peak monsters, I'm just going peak monsters on the side so that I just do not misquote anything. So I think my total where did that go? Land cards, yeah. So and then grid view. So BCX or CC, we call it CC now.
Yeah,
I
CC.
have bought 515 CC of Kinbound Druid.
Gosh, that's almost 1/3 of the. Oh, 515. Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
it's like 3% of the supply.
Yeah, 3% of the supply. Yes. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I got a lot of them. I was trying to buy some more, but I essentially went through my entire wood stash.
Supply.
By the
Okay.
way, for the record, Vaktis also went through his entire stash of like every resource, most of the resource.
Yeah.
Right. So most of the resource.
So I'm sure he has a lot of the cards as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah. So this whole thing, the stone prices collapsing and wood prices rallying helped me personally quite a bit, because I have a lot of wood and I have no stone. So I can buy all the stone I want now.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to do anything about it. I'll be supporting the market.
Oh, you'll be holding up the value. Although wood is starting to tank and lose its value now against stone.
Yeah.
So.
But I have already sold all my wood, right?
Yeah, or used it. Yeah.
Used it. Same thing is selling, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Selling to buy card.
Oh, you
burning
sold
to buy card.
Burning to buy cards.
Think about it. Burning to buy card. So.
Well, selling would drive the price down, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
Down,
so you reduce the supply.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, so.
Yeah.
I love. Thank you for going the deep dive into the tools. Is there anything else you wanted to show here? Because I wanted to get into some of the broader questions around land now.
Yeah, go for the broader questions. We can touch back any other, and you can touch back yourself as you kind of navigate through this. I already showed you like the stone plots are currently negative, and how you find that and all of that. How you actually look at your own land and display that and all of that. So I think you got the idea, and you can zoom in and out. Yeah.
I love this tool, Beaker. If you're listening, this is fantastic. So it's been really fun to dive into.
Yeah, I'm sure Beaker will listen.
So I want to go back to the initial question then. Give me, like, you obviously bought the land cards, and I know part of it is probably to support the game and the company, or not the company, but the project. But what did you think overall of the land card idea? Like, is this so? I'll ask a multifaceted question. So, A, did you like it? B, would you like to see more land cards? And C, if we do want to see more land cards, how soon would you want to see them? Like, is this something that should be regular every 6 months, every year? Or like, what is your thought around land cards in general now that they've been introduced into the game?
Okay, so I'll let you out on a secret. Again, I do not want to claim responsibility, but the idea of land card, not the details, not how it is crafted, not the resource quantity, none of that. That is all, Dave. But the idea of creating a card now, quickly, right at this moment, from the resources was mine.
Oh, okay.
So this was the original idea is mine.
Gotcha.
So
so of course you like it.
I need to take some responsibility for that. For certain. No, my idea for this was, look, I do not know if this is going to be a long-term benefit for the land game. I do not know that. And why? Because these cards also increase the supply of the product, right?
Yeah.
This actually gives a boost. And you already saw that we do not really have usage for all the production that we currently create. So if we ramp up the production, well, we are obviously going to have more oversupply and the prices are going to be lower, right? Just like there is
over time,
there. What I have estimated in this, and this estimate is just based on the grain, based on the grain numbers. And if you look at the grain supply before the event, in Pretoria, we had about 9 billion grain.
Yeah.
9 billion. This number was 9 billion. And we can look at it a lot also, but I have memorized it.
Oh, no, I remember too, yeah.
Yeah, 9 billion grain. So now we have dropped it about 2.1 down. So we are just under 7 billion grain, right? So we have consumed 2 billion grain, give or take, right? Forget the decimal places. 2 billion grain. Just for this event, we have consumed 2 billion grain. Now, how long does it take to make this 2 billion grain up? We currently overproduce. If you look at the difference between these two numbers, produce daily by
10
consumed
million.
daily, it's 10 million. 10 million per day, 200.
Yeah, so 200 days. Yeah.
So 200 days, but that is the current production. People haven't activated, let's assume, people haven't activated all their land cards yet.
Sure.
If they activate, let's say we will shorten that period by another 50 days, give or take. This is rule of thumb I'm doing. So 150 days. So in 150 days, in terms of the total net supply, we are going to get back to 9 billion if all else remain equal, right? So what this event has given Cryptomancer is 150 days time. 150 days, 5 months to make more use, more sync for all the products, whether it is buildings, whether it is whatever else, right? I'm going to assume it is building because that is the next things.
Yeah.
We are going to have to level up the buildings, so we need resources to level up buildings, right? That is the next item on the docket. So it gives Cryptomancer 5 months. That's what I have bought using this.
Gotcha. And you're only focused on grain right now because, stone, iron will be there much sooner. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, wood consumption was much, the drop of the supply was much higher.
Significant, yeah.
But the production is also going to be higher. So, in the end, it could be a wash. I do not know. So whether it is 5 months or less matters little. It's grain is required for everything. So I think it is pretty safe to do it with grain.
Yeah, no, you're right. So what's going to be interesting now, because I was looking at this and thinking to myself, okay, buildings are probably next. And then you also have like the magical resources, for example, or maybe other refinements and such. But on top of that, you give him 5 months, but now he also has to deal with more resources coming into the mix, meaning that things will either need to be more expensive or people will need to have more of them in order to participate or get some kind of benefit in the future. So I guess in a way, like I was against bringing in more resources right away, but one of the ways to reduce the inflation or reduce the overages that we see every day is by bringing in more competition for these limited land plots and having to choose, do I want to make a magical resource or do I want to make a natural resource? Or do I want to, maybe there'll be something with buildings that will require storage or something like that.
The buildings need to be leveled up, right? So if there is more resources, how do you get more resources? You will get more resources by using the existing resources, right? Anything we know, anything that in land you need to run, you run by using grain. So you have to use grain. So that would be the sink.
The only thing, I guess what I'm trying to say is, with this though, if the buildings make land even more efficient, it just creates higher inflation over time. So the only way to
efficient. No, I don't think so. Because
so
the
you don't
buildings
okay.
do not create more resources. You just have to level up the building to do the next thing. It is not going to increase your production.
Okay, well, so then what's the benefit of the building? And maybe I'm not remembering. I need to go through back through the white paper.
Right.
But what is the incentive then for creating the building?
Yeah.
Or leveling up the building?
Just like the level cap of cards, you need to level up the building to certain level to do certain things.
Okay.
So let's say at level, I do not know the numbers, right? Nobody does.
Sure.
But let's say at level 3 of buildings, it start creating I don't know, some magical resource. You can
Oh,
only
okay.
get that at level 3. So you
Got
have
it.
to
Okay.
level up that building to level 3, and then change the production. Say it's right now it is producing wood, but
Mm,
you have to now change the production just like we do now. We
yeah.
switch from wood to stone to aura or whatever else. You have this new resource called X, right? New magical resource called X.
Hmm.
Now you have to level up this building. That's the first thing. Second thing, then you are going to switch from wood to that resource X. So
Okay.
now you are going to produce resource X, but you are not going to produce wood. But in order to level up, if you require wood, that supply is taken out. That supply is bound,
Mm,
is taken out. That's the sink, right? So you are
yeah.
not increasing wood supply
Okay.
by leveling up. You are opening certain ability like thing in the card,
And
right? Just like as we level up card, it gets more and more ability.
okay. Well, yeah, we'll see where they go with it.
Yeah.
But that would be my only concern with that or any other future land cards
No,
as
I mean
it comes in.
I have the same concern, right? So, and
Hmm.
we all understand that.
Okay.
Leveling up building doesn't just make the more of the same thing, because that would make no sense. Obviously, that would make no sense.
Well,
So no,
my
we are not going to do that.
my hope is at some point there will be buildings required that either refine the resources, or they talked a lot about storage as well. Like, so
Yes,
therefore, the only finite thing in land is the amount of plots, at least as of now, right? They're not planning on
yes,
printing more than the 150,000 plots. So the more
yes,
plots you can get to produce either different resources or to not produce resources at all, whether they're storage, whether it's refinement, whether it's something else, that creates it where people then have to make a decision on whether or not they're going to produce grain, and we start getting grain plots that are less in number but maybe become more efficient or more production overall over time,
exactly. Yeah, that's
uh,
possible.
to, to
That's
to to meet
possible.
the market demand. But
Yeah,
I mean, this is what I love about land, right? Just the complexity
yeah,
of it. Like, you're seeing land work exactly as it's intended, and I think the grain chart, or the grain factor chart, is one of the most exciting things to really expound on that point. Is that people are following where the market arbitrage opportunities are. Right?
yeah,
You saw that with stone 6 months ago. You're seeing that with wood now.
yeah,
Um, and so, what will come next? I mean, we
yeah,
don't know. But to your point, my hope is that within the next 5 months, actually, for me, I'm hoping by the end of Q1, there's going to be some kind of release for land. I don't know what that's going to look
yeah.
like, but if Cryptomancer can get something in the next couple of months, I think that would be great.
Yeah. And 5 months is, no magical number. I'm just
Yeah,
making a
yeah,
division and coming up with five.
sure, sure.
It could be 3, it could be 6, who knows, right?
Hmm.
Whenever he get to it. But, we have to get to it. Actually, we probably have to get to it sooner. Dave's idea always is, okay, this is a proof of concept. That's
Yes.
why the numbers were so little. You know, we
Hmm.
could have easily printed double the cards, would have
Yeah.
taken longer, but who knows, probably created, like, the net result would have been a lot more resources. I do not know that. Nobody knows that, right?
Yeah.
So this was a proof of concept. Mind you, we actually burned 150 million. We created 150 million cinder, right? So we
Yeah.
burned about,
I think it's
BP
95 million.
wise, 1.4 or 1.5, right?
Yes,
So
it's like 100 million collection power that we burned.
100 million CP we have burned. By the way, since you have mentioned, Beaker already put in that. I wanted to show you that also.
Oh,
That
cinder
is
being
put
tracked.
in. Yeah, see, there is a
Oh,
thing to
nice.
burn resources. The problem after sound is, all of this we have to actually store within the server. Okay,
Hmm.
so it takes, nobody is storing the data, so we have
Yeah.
to store the data in the server. So far we have only able to store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days worth of data.
Mm-hmm.
And that's another reason we can store only one data point per day, because server storage is expensive, right?
Yeah.
And it keeps on adding up. So we cannot just have a whole bunch of things,
Gotcha.
storing data every single day for a lot of stuff. Then we're going to just blow up, right? So
Mm-hmm.
servers cost money. So that's why we cannot track everything, but this is important enough that we can track.
Gotcha. No, I get that. It is I haven't seen it on the site, but is Beaker accepting donations or anything for costs?
My advice to Beaker was take money out of this.
I'm sorry. Say that again. You cut out for a
This is
second.
our community service. This is our community service, and we want to keep it that way as long as it is reasonable. So because
Fair
money
enough.
brings
We
in
appreciate
lots of
that.
bad things, lots of bad things. I try to stay away from money as much as I can.
All right, fair enough. Well, we appreciate the service, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we're coming up on time here, so I want to wrap up with a couple other high level things. We talked a little bit about land 2.0, or buildings and leveling up next. I mean, let me just ask this: how are you feeling about land in 2025? Going into 2026, and if you've heard, I call them side quests, right? We spent most of the year doing a bunch of different side things that had nothing to do with the 2.0 white paper, and I personally would like to see them go back towards focusing on the buildings and resources and things. But at the same time, I really like how they've added so much flavor to land. They've added a lot of things, so I'm curious to get your overall, like, not a grade, but how do you feel about the different paths that we took in 2025 and where we're headed in 2026?
I like it. I like, and I agree with you. This is a sidetrack. The land card project is a sidetrack, but I think we needed this sidetrack. The excitement we got out of this, in 9 days, we have people paying 200,000 plus US dollar on a market like this.
I mean, 300,000 if you include the cards for Cinder too.
Yes, absolutely. 300,000 if you include the card for Cinder. That I was just mentioning the price of the card, right?
Yeah.
So clearly people wanted it, right? Not just from the money side, but the fact that we have been able to sell it in 9 days time, the common, we sold it in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
The reason, if people are not excited, you cannot achieve that, right? And you have to keep people excited. Otherwise, you don't have it. You don't have the game. You have to keep people excited. You have to make people spend money. If we don't spend money, the growth stops. And whether the existing player spends money or new player spends money, somebody got to spend money. Right? Somebody got to spend money. Otherwise, there is no growth. So I am glad people spend money. I'm glad the things were sold out. I'm glad it actually gave people a shock. I can document it in writing that Vaktis said, and somebody like Vaktis said he was least prepared for this project, not well prepared from this project.
Sure.
He ran through all his resources. From somebody like Vaktis. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
To me. Okay, it's a big deal. He was number one grain holder in Pretoria. He had 800 million grain coming into this project.
Yes.
We can check Vaktis real quick. So 880 million grain Vaktis started this land card project. Let's check real quick how much grain Vaktis had. And Vaktis actually takes the longest because
he's got the most.
It is really cranking to get his number. My apologies there.
It's okay.
But he is right now.
Wow. Is that 40 million?
40 million.
So you have more than him.
At
Yours
your
was like
age.
180 million, right?
187. I am now number 2
Okay.
in grain in Pretoria. I am right behind Cryptomancer.
Oh, and he has nothing
So yeah,
in the
Vakti,
pool either. Wow.
yeah, he has nothing. Not just grain, he has nothing in the pool. Look at his wood. He has 2 million wood.
Wow.
2 million. And nothing in the pool. He has 21 million stone, nothing in the pool.
But
And
he
I
but he
don't
has
know.
a lot of the cards now, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
So
yeah.
that was the right move for him to do. Oh, he has less than
192
a million.
million. Yeah, 192K.
Yeah, 1,000.
192K,
Yeah.
not million. 192K. Even his aura has dwindled significantly.
Wow, he's holding like almost a third of the aura.
Yeah,
Like
well,
there's 76
because
million. He's
everybody
got
used
22
their
million.
aura. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying in
But
general, he's holding a third of the supply.
yeah, but think
I mean,
about
it's
what
soul
it
bound, so it
was
doesn't matter. But
before.
yeah.
Yeah, what it was before.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Vakt is having 40 million grain gives me a lot of confidence. Vakt is
Wow,
having
it burned
40
through a lot.
million grain gives me a lot of confidence. So he is going to support the market. I mean, he has to.
Yeah.
He has to, because he got to buy grain or he got to produce a lot of grain, one way or the other. He's grain negative. He's net grain negative. He has always been net grain negative. I am grain
Can you
negative.
see that here on his page or no?
Yeah,
At the top?
I think so. So you can
If you
see
scroll
the
up.
total. So this is his total grain position, right? So I
Oh,
think you
it
can
doesn't
actually
show.
see. Yeah,
Okay.
it does right here. Right here. So I am zoomed in and in the split screen, right? So let me see if I expand it, if it shows up better. Oops. Yeah.
I was just trying to see if it showed how much he consumed versus produced every day.
He can see it, like I know I can see it.
Internally in
But
the game.
right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do not know if it shows up here. I think in region overview. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it's going to show.
There
Okay.
you go.
But not across the entire.
Not across the entire. So you got to individually add them up, right? So this is like negative in this region. This
He's
is
making
okay.
63,000 there.
Yeah.
7,000. Okay. Minus 44. Minus 67.
Minus
Okay. Yeah.
44,
So
minus 6.
yeah.
Minus. I have seen mostly minuses on grain. Minus.
Interesting. Okay.
Man, he has so many regions. I know he is net negative, net grain
He's
negative. Net grain negative.
Gotcha. Oh no, I'll take your word for it. I mean, obviously it's quite complicated, but he's not. Basically, the point is that he's not going to be dumping grain on the market anytime soon.
Oh,
So
no.
He's not a seller by any means.
No way.
Yeah.
He either have to produce a lot and have to buy, most likely.
And at this point, are you selling any of the grain that you have, or are you just
I'm
continuing
going to
to
be buying?
You're still going to be buying, even though it's at a.
I am going to be buying. I have to go to 1 billion grain.
Oh, you're just trying to hold 1 billion grain.
Yes, because I think we will need more grain
in the future. Okay. Good to know. Do you participate in the liquidity pools at all?
Yes, I was in all the pools, but I have removed everything from the wood pool because I needed the wood. I needed every single wood that I can get.
Gotcha. Okay.
So to buy
that
the
makes
cards.
sense.
Yeah.
It was a good time to do it too, because wood is at an all-time high or relative high.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, Azircon, this is fantastic. I every time we talk, I feel like I learn a lot. So I appreciate you going in depth into the tool. It's something that I've been using a lot regularly in videos. So we'll be doing a little bit more analysis there. Is there anything else you wanted to cover while we're chatting?
No, I think this is good. This is good, and I am available. Anytime you need anything, just give me a shout. I'll make myself available. So that's my community service.
Amazing. Well, you know what? We'll make sure we don't wait too long until the next one. I think maybe once we get the next project to roll out and some details, I'd love to have you back to get your thoughts on it as well. Whether it's buildings or resources or whatever we have coming up from Cryptomancer next year.
Okay, sounds good.
So, all right. I appreciate it, Azircon. Thank you so much for coming on, guys. Make sure you check out the tool here. Give a shout out to Beaker for all the hard work that he puts into it, and I'll catch you all in the next video.